Hi, I'm Snez, personal trainer, healthy lifestyle coach, and your guide to feeling your best. This podcast is a segment from my weekly radio show, Wellbeing Wednesdays, broadcast live on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. It's all about sharing real, practical tips to help you move more, eat better, and live healthier without the overwhelm. Let's dive in, shall we? But coming up next, I just wanted to share, I'm not sure if you saw Jelena Dokic's Logie acceptance speech. I missed it live, but the speech was just so powerful and as incredible as Jelena is with everything that she's overcome and achieved, there was one line that just sat with me, and that was be someone's Todd. And I think it's something we all need to hear and we all can learn from and act on. So Jelena was accepting the Logie for Best Documentary for Unbreakable, the Jelena Dokic story, and in her speech she thanked many people, but one name stood out, and that was Todd Woodbridge. And she shared how at her retirement dinner over 10 years ago, Todd said to her, you can become a commentator and you can do so many things. And at that time, she was struggling herself and she couldn't really believe it. And she sort of said to her, well, you're definitely not talking about me, something along those lines. And yet here she is doing exactly what he saw in her. And this is the thing, that's what belief can do. It can light a fire in someone who's feeling completely lost or lacking in confidence or in self-belief. And the thing is that Todd didn't give her this success. He just gave her belief at that time. And I think this is what can make all the difference, is that when someone believes in you, regardless of what you're trying to achieve or in what area of life, it really sparks something in you, and it sparks you to continue to move forward. And in this country where we often wrestle with the tendency to cut down anyone who is succeeding or successful, belief is even more powerful. And Jelena went against the grain. And what's really interesting is in that moment where she could have made the story all about her comeback and resilience, she chose to give thanks to someone that quietly supported her a long time ago. And I know that it was evident, it came through that Todd's been a big part of and a big support network for Jelena, which it's just so rare and it's just so powerful. And in a culture, as I said, that sometimes mocks ambition or it ridicules when we're vulnerable or can tear people down, especially in social media, it takes such courage to speak words that build others up. And that's exactly, I think, what we need more of, and why I wanted to highlight this in a segment today, because right now there's so many people that are quietly struggling, and sometimes all it takes is just one person to believe in you for things to start shifting. And I know that I've felt that in my own life, especially when you trying to grow a business or raise a family or any of those big things, even if you are moving in a direction where you're uncertain of, sometimes it just takes that one person to recognize what you're trying to do and believe in you. And I know that in the past, I've pushed forward in times that have felt difficult because I knew that there was someone else believing in me. And in times where I didn't even feel that I could believe in myself, when I, felt disconnected and didn't want to move forward in an aspect of life. And a lot of the times it has been in business. But there's been some pivotal people in my life that just from the sidelines just trusted, believed, saw the vision. And not even if it was the vision about what I was trying to achieve, it was just about me. It was just believing in me. And I think what's really fascinating about this is that you don't actually have to be someone's close friend or family member to make a big impact. You could be a coach, a teacher, a colleague, or even a neighbour. Just a kind comment, even online, can be the thing that helps someone feel seen and feel worthy again. And the other flip side of that is what's really important and relevant is not to play small in these situations, and don't assume that as a person about to give somebody some feedback or some positive encouragement that your words don't matter, because they really, really do. And I think that's a lot of the times why we don't support each other or don't say positive things, because we don't want to come across weird, or, it's, like, oh, who am I to tell them, that they're doing a great job? Like, surely they know they're doing a great job, and surely they know that they're, achieving great things, or they're doing really well with their health journey, or, surely these people know, as if it really is relevant, what I feel and think about that situation. But it really is. And believing in someone and then saying it out loud to people, and in just a kind, gentle way, just a couple of words, even a text message, whatever it is. I think it's what Jelena said about being someone's Todd. And I think that was just such a super special thing for her to have said, and it was just such a great concept that we can be someone's Todd. And I know, listening to that, I was like, I want to be someone's Todd. And what we can learn from that, I think, is encouragement matters. It doesn't have to be, a huge fancy effort that you're going to encourage someone, but just a kind word at the right moment can stay with someone for years. And you don't need to be their best friend, family member. You can support anyone. It can come from anyone, really. And one voice is big enough. That's one thing that, when one person believes in you, even if they aren't a significant person in your life, sometimes that's all it takes to keep you going at a moment in your life. And I think that's just so precious. So this segment it wasn't about Jelena or Todd, or being magnificent. It's about you, and who can you be a Todd for, or who in your life needs someone to say, I believe in you, or I see something in you, or when has someone said that to you? And maybe you discounted that compliment and you're like, oh, as if, like, who really cares? Or they were just saying that to be nice or whatever. So don't assume that you're not the right person, or don't assume that someone has said something positive to you and it was just a throwaway line. If the opportunity's there on either sides, just take it. Say the words, welcome the words, because you might just be the one voice for someone else that helps make change possible on their path, significant change even, or you may be inspired through someone else's words that allow you to choose differently, to take up opportunities, to be brave at times where you didn't want to be brave, where you felt too afraid to be brave. So sometimes we don't need a crowd. It doesn't need to be big, but we just need one person to believe in us. And it doesn't have to be someone close. It can be a colleague, a teacher, a neighbour, a teammate, but be that person. That's what I'm throwing out to you all today, is be someone's Todd. And if you want to be a Todd for me, I would absolutely love to hear from you. Jump on Wellbeing Wednesdays with Snez. I would love to hear that you are out there listening, or just tell me how you felt if you saw that speech by Jelena Dokic, and just tell me what that brought up for you, because that's definitely what I got out of that. Thanks for joining me on this segment from Wellbeing Wednesdays, as heard live on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who might find it helpful, and subscribe so you never miss a show. Want to catch the live broadcast? Well, you can tune in Wednesdays from 12 till 2 p.m. on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM, or find my info on Wellbeing Wednesdays with Snez, the Facebook group. Take care, stay healthy, and remember, it's the little choices every day that create big changes. Talk soon.